Tiffany. I work in the First Year Success Center as one of the success coaches. I know most of you guys met me during SOAR because I run the registration room for engineering students. So some of this stuff you actually might remember from myself and the academic peer mentor who presented with me, but I'm just going to refresh it. So the buzzword around campus here in West Haven, and I'm sure it is in Prato, is registration. Which classes are you going to take? How do you actually select classes? And what do you do on registration day? So hopefully by the end of this webinar, you guys will actually know exactly what to do. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use Degree Audit to help plan your schedule. Degree Audit is a great tool to see all of the classes that are to come, as well as information such as your GPA, who your academic advisor is, as well as making sure that you're in the right program. So how do you get into Degree Audit? The first thing is you're going to log into Inside UNH. Most of you guys have already seen this backdrop before because you use it in order to check your email as well as access Blackboard. So let's go through it step by step. There's several ways to get into Degree Audit, but the easiest way is to go right into the Audit feature. So the Audit is one of the yellow buttons. It has a diploma and the word Audit underneath it. If you go ahead and click that, it'll go ahead and pop up automatically this. So this exactly is your Degree Audit. So it includes your student ID, your name, the program you're in, your major, it should say your level is UG for undergrad, as well as your student class level. Most of you guys, it will say freshman, unless you brought in a lot of transfer credits, it might say sophomore. So on there, if you can look on the left-hand side underneath where it says student view, you'll see who your academic advisor is. Now, your academic advisor is a little bit different than your success coach. So you might be asking, what does an academic advisor do? Your academic advisor is someone who's in your academic advisor from the engineering department. They're great so that way you can explore internships, networking, and career opportunities, as well as assist with course selection for degree programs, and develop, clarify, and evaluate educational goals. On the contrary, myself as a success coach, along with the others, some of the things that we really are helpful for is for you to discover and learn important study techniques, design personal and academic goals, as well as monitor your academic progress. So it's really important at some point that you email your academic advisor. If you're not sure of the email, if you're in Degree Audit, if you just click the link that says your academic advisor, it'll actually pop up an email box and you can email them directly from there. I know most of you guys don't have two majors, but if you do, you can go to the program feature. Under the arrow, it'll drop down and it'll show you your second major. So, for your first major, your primary major, you can just scroll down to see all of the classes that are required. For the most part, a lot of you guys are going to still be completing the core curriculum. So the core curriculum ensures that all students who graduate from the University of New Haven are holistic students. So just because you're engineering doesn't mean you don't need to take a class in the social sciences. Just like our students who are social science majors have to take at least one math and one science. So throughout the courses that you have in your core curriculum, sometimes you have a choice. For example, if you look under core curriculum or CC 1.2 communication elective, you will notice that the student whose Degree Audit I'm using, he has to take one class, but they give him two choices. So you can actually decide which one you want to take that will benefit you in your particular program. Completed classes will have grades and checks. Most of you guys will have current classes with a little squiggly mark indicating that you're in progress. And classes that are not yet taken will show up as still needed. So if you guys can see the green check or the squiggly line or the still needed, that will determine which classes you've already completed, ones that you're currently in progress, or ones that you can actually take next semester. So to view what a course is, all you need to do is hover over with your mouse the course number. So as you can see, if you hover over that ENGL2230, it means nothing, right? It's just a bunch of letters with numbers. But if you hover over it, you'll notice that that class is actually called public speaking and group discussion, and it's worth 3 credits. So that's one way to kind of see some of the classes that you're going to take. You can see where all the red circles are. If you go from student view down the registration checklist and then hit the word view to the right of it, this is what will pop up. Every class that you need to take. Now, the student whose degree audit I'm using, he's actually a senior now, and so most of his courses are already completed. So he doesn't have a lot that is still under the still needed category. But for most of you guys, you're going to look at your degree audit in both views, and they'll be about the same, still having a lot of courses needing to be completed. But you have 3.5 years to do so. So from the screen, what you can do is, and this is a feature I do like, if you know that you have to take a class, you can just click on the particular course number, and it'll let you know everything about that course. It'll let you know how many credits it's worth. It'll let you know the title. It'll let you know a co-requisite. A co-requisite means you have to take that class along with the other class that's listed at the same time. A prerequisite is a course that you have to complete before you actually can register for the next course in that sequence. It'll also give you the description, if there's any lab fees, and then if that course is going to be offered in the next term. So it's a good way to start planning out your schedule. So speaking of prerequisites, let me go over a couple of things. I know a lot of you guys are currently taking chemistry and math. So if you're taking chemistry, in order to move on to Gen Chem 2, if you need that for your program, you need to earn a C or higher. They will not accept a C- or lower. In addition, the same is true with math. If you're taking a math course, in order to go to the next level of math for your major, you need to earn a C, not a C- or lower. So again, like I just mentioned, the screen shows prerequisites, co-requisites. It lets you know if there is a lab fee, how many credits, and then what time the class is scheduled for the next particular term. Internet Explorer and not Firefox or Chrome, go ahead and log on to Inside UNH. Select the SS or the SSB, which is our banner program, and then select Student, Registration, look up classes for the spring 2016, and then select the department. So if you're taking a course that's in engineering and applied sciences, you'll see that. If you're taking Calculus 2, it'll be under mathematics. If you're taking composition and literature, it'll be under the English department, and so on. So you find the department that houses the class, and then you select Course Search. Under that, you'll see all of the courses that they're actually offering for the next term, but you find the one that your academic advisor or your advisor over in Prado advised you to take. So for most of you guys, you're going to take English, composition, and literature. Then, what you would select is the View Sections option. Under there are important things. So let me go through them one by one. The first thing that you're going to need to know is the CRN. The CRN is similar to a Social Security number. Each class, professor, location, date, and time has its own unique 5-digit code. That code will be needed on the date of registration. So you can see that it's the CRN for the first option is 10018. The subject is English. The course number is 110, and that stands for Comp and Lit. You also see that it's worth 3 credits. You need to make sure that all of your credits add up to 17 or less, as that is included in the full-time tuition package. You'll also notice the day and time, so that class meets Monday, Wednesday. If it's TR, that means it meets Tuesday, Thursday. Then you can see the capacity of the class, which is under the blue circle or the blue square, and it's 20. Right now, 0 people are active because registration hasn't started yet, and then there are still 20 remaining. Once registration begins, you'll start to realize that the active number will go up and the remaining number will go down. You'll know that the class is still open because the NR will turn into a checkbox. Once it's closed, that NR will turn into a C for closed. So, picking up from there, you need to know the date that you registered. How do you know the date that you registered? The first thing that you can do is, if you're under Banner, the SSB, and you go to Student, Registration, Registration Status, it'll let you know your class for registration purposes. Most students are going to register as undergraduate freshmen, which will be Thursday, November 19th. It's 7:01 Eastern Standard Time, so you guys are going to have to figure out what time that is going to be over there. Some of you guys, if you brought in a lot of transfer credit, will actually register as undergraduate sophomores. But once you go to that registration status for registration purposes, you'll see which date you should register for. Other than that, you're just about all set. I always suggest for students to have 3 schedules made. The 3 schedules will be your ideal schedule if everything works out, your backup number 1, and your backup number 2. All 3 schedules will still have all of the same classes that were requested. However, you'll just have different times just in case something closes. Then on the day of registration, you'll wake up and you will not have to search for the classes. Once you go into Banner, and I'll show you guys here, if you go into SSB and then Student Registration, instead of going to look up classes like you did when you were preparing, you're going to go to Add Drop Classes for the spring 2006. After this, of course, I cannot register at this particular time, but it's going to ask you for your PIN. You'll enter that. Unless you're a CJ major, you do not have a PIN. You'll enter that PIN, and then it'll have a whole bunch of little boxes that you can put numbers in. You're going to actually use the CRNs that you wrote down when you were writing down your ideal schedules, and you're going to enter that in. Once you enter that in, either number 1, it'll be a success. Number 2, it'll let you know that the class is full. Number 3, it'll say that you don't have the prerequisite or the co-requisite. And number 4, it'll say that the class is not registering for you because maybe you don't meet the class requirement, like you're not a sophomore yet or you're not a junior, and some courses are very specific. Lastly, the other error that can come back is if you're trying to register for 2 classes at the same time. Now, since I know most of you guys are science students, I do want to point out something that a lot of science students do not understand. If you're registering for, let's say, chemistry, you need to register both for the chem lecture, which meets twice a week for an hour and 15 minutes each, as well as the lab. The lab, as I'm showing you with my mouse, will be pointed to the course number. So this is a lab for Chem 116, and it matches General Chemistry 2. So if you have any sciences, you need to make sure you have a CRN for the lecture and the lab. Other than that, I think you guys are all set for registration. I'll be Skyping in soon. Thanks. Bye.